Now this problem also deals with calculating the yield on the bond. I'm going to show you a problem, the first problem, where there is a capital gain when they sell the bond. And then the next part of the problem, I'll show you what it looks like when there's a capital loss. But again, this is calculating the yield on a bond. What's the return that we would earn if we invested in the bond? Now this is the Heyman Company bonds, and they have 4 years left of maturity. Interest is paid annually, and the bonds have a $1,000 par value or face value, and a coupon rate or stated rate of 9%. The A part says, what is the yield to maturity at the current market price of, first scenario, $829, and the second scenario, if the market price is $1104. So we're going to work the first one where the market price is $829. Again, the indenture of the bond tells us the things we need to know in order to find the price of a bond or the yield on a bond. And in this case, the indenture of this bond tells us, again, that it has a $1,000 face value. That's the lump sum you'll get at the end of the life of the bond. It's got a 9% coupon rate or stated rate on the bond. It's got 4 years remaining on its life, and this bond pays interest annually. And they tell us that the price of the bond in the market is $829. Again, they give us the price, they want us to calculate the yield. To calculate the approximate yield of maturity on this bond, in the numerator is going to be the annual interest the bond pays, which in this case, 9% of $1,000, $90. To that you add the price of the bond at maturity. At maturity, all bonds sell for $1,000. Minus the price of the bond now, which is $829, divided by the number of years to maturity, which they tell us is 4. What you see in the numerator here, that turns out to be the average inflow per year if you buy this bond as an investor. The denominator is the average value of the bond over its life. The ending value, face value $1,000, plus the beginning value, whatever the market price is, in this case $829, divided by 2. This gives us a simple average. The average inflow per year on this bond, $132.75. The average value of this bond over its life, $914.50. Average inflow divided by average price, you get the yield to maturity on the bond, the approximate yield to maturity. Your calculator will come up with 0.1452, which is the decimal equivalent of 14.52%. And remember, rates of return, interest rates, inflation rates, all those kinds of things are always stated on a percentage basis, not a decimal. So again, the answer you should write down, the answer you should come up with now is not, and communicate, is not this decimal form of the answer, but rather the percentage equivalent of the decimal. In this case, 14.52%.